Welcome to Jimmy's World. My name is Jimmy, and this is Clear Prop. Let's get into it. That's right. I've already done my whole intro, so I get to do it again. That was practice. You may ask, what about the mustache? Well, this is Jimmy's. I must ask you a question. You like that? Boom. And yes, I grew it out because my wife and I saw Top Gun, and now I have a mustache per her request. And when the lady wants you to do something, you do something because she lets me play with the airplanes all the time. That is a fair trade indeed. Now you may be asking yourself, Jimmy, I've got a question for you. Well, you're in luck, because remember, if you do that little super chat, you'll skip right to the top of the line. And before we get to that, I got to share with you something I've been working on in the background. You may have heard of it. It's a little thing called the James Webb Telescope. Yeah, I know. While I'm not saving the 310, sending stuff out into space, it works. We've got this picture here. I think you'll like. Look at that. And then this one's my favorite. Have you guys seen this thing? It is unbelievable. And yes, James Webb is my actual name. That's pretty cool. It was named after, I think it was like the NASA's first project supervisor type thing over the whole space program. So that's pretty neat. There you go. James Webb sending stuff out into space. Also, Oshkosh, I will be there. I'm going to be there Wednesday through Saturday, and I'll be doing some meet and greets from 1 to 2 o'clock at different locations. Make sure you keep the old YouTube and Face Page app open, and what is the other one? Instapage. Whatever those are, you know what they are. I'm going to plug in there where I'll be, when I'll be there. I would love to meet you so that we can say hi with each other. On to some questions and some updates. We've got, line up and wait. So this is technology at work here. I'm using this thing called StreamYard first time, and I didn't realize that you had to hit the button that said go live. My bad. But hey, we're here, and we're here now. Let's jump into some questiones. Bam. Let's see. We got, there's lots of new questions. Simon Clark, he asks, Jimmy, what did you do in the Air Force? I'm glad you asked, because that leads me to a box that I got from a James Wright. And he sent me this right here. How cool is that? Put in the comment section below if you know the name of this horse, our mascot for my unit. I'm in the 202nd Red Horse Division, which is civil engineering under CE in the Air Force. And you'll notice it's got a bulldozer on it. See if I can get that there. Bam. So shout out, put in the comments if you know the name of that horse right there. You'll get extra bonus points. I joined the military as a midlife crisis. Yep. I'm in the Florida Air National Guard. I joined 6 days before the age cutoff at the ripe old age of 39 and 357 days or whatever that math works out to. I was the oldest person in basic training and my tech school whenever we were out in Missouri. Yeah, the only older person in my entire unit was the commander, which is kind of funny. I was older than all the sergeants, master sergeants, and everything. My dad retired 2 years before I got into the military, which is kind of funny. So I drive heavy equipment for the military for the Florida Air National Guard and the 202nd Red Horse Division. We've got, bam, Jethro Bodine, $1.99. Appreciate that. Who we got here? We got Elton I'm going to butcher your last name, Edie. I'm in Jacksonville. Any flight schools in my area you would suggest? I'm 52. Am I too old to become a pilot? Never. I mean, kind of. You got to be like 95. There's some pilots, they pass their medical. The dude, I mean, yeah, 85, no problem. There's a couple of pilots I know that are easily that old. So 52, you've got lots of flying ahead of you. Go get your medical. Look up the FAA medical thing. Go take the little test. They make sure you're not blind and you can kind of get up and sit down a little bit and that kind of thing. It's not too difficult. There is some issues with like heart issues, and what are some of the other things? Put in the comments what some of the other like definite no-goes are for getting a pilot's license for your medical. But other than that, yes, go get them. In Jacksonville, I don't actually know the specific flight schools that are up there, but just Google it and start calling around. Go get yourself one of those discovery flights. Best money you'll ever spend. Love being a pilot. Highly encourage that to all of you. We got Simon Parks, 17.99 pounds, which right now the dollar is creeping up there, which that's like what, 20 bucks or something like that. Dude, Simon, you rock my face off. All right, let's get to some more questions. Michael Sweeney says, didn't I see you in Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Well, I've done a little bit of acting in my day. So it's possible. It's very possible. That's funny. That's awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. Bam, bam. We got here. That stash is getting frightening. Well, my lady likes it, so that trumps everybody out there. So there you go. All right. How old were you? Chris says, how old were you when you got your pilot certificate? And how old are you now? Well, that math is pretty easy because I've only been a pilot for just over 2 years. I got my pilot's license because of my military stuff. We have to train or drill once a month where we play Army. And it's a 4.5-hour drive each way. And I hated that drive. A buddy of mine who was a pilot said, Jimmy, why don't you just go get an airplane and then fly up there? And it's only like an hour flight. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea. So that's what I did. I went and got my medical, took the written, passed that, and then I bought an airplane before I ever even sat in a little airplane, which all that story is in the videos. And then took all my training, got my license and my instrument rating in 5 months. I just busted that out as quick as I could. Best decision ever. That was about 2.5 years ago. And then that's when I bought the Cherokee 6. I found it rotting away at the airport. And everybody always told me, Jimmy, don't ever buy an airplane and try to put it back in the air. Well, we see how that worked out. Because I just took my old cell phone out and said, hey, I'm going to put this airplane back in the air. Watch me go bankrupt doing it. And here we are 2 years later, pretty close to bankrupt. And, that's why we're doing all these videos to try to help you guys watch the commercials. And that's how I make money. And yes, I'm doing YouTube as a full-time gig now, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. We got Rob Stanton, $9.99. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that, my friend. All right. Highlander Outsider. He says, when did an aeroplane become an airplane? When we moved to America. Kids. Oh, okay. Boom. Says Alex. Hi, Jimmy. How do I get a Save the 310 t-shirt as I'm in the UK? I'm glad you asked. Big announcement. We are working on a new website with all new merchandise. I'm pretty proud of my clear prop stuff we got here, but we're going to do a lot better than that. We are working on a ton of new designs. We're going to be launching that, my fingers crossed, within the next 30 days. If you have a design that you would like to submit to see if it makes the cut and we can make it into a shirt and some cups and hats and stuff like that, send that information to therealjimmysworld@gmail.com. We're going to do everything we can to boost this up. We're going to be doing like giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff to just get this merch out there, to spread the joy of aviation. And a lot of these funds go back into Wings of Compassion, which is the nonprofit that helps veterans through aviation. Let's see what other new stuff we got here. Bam, bam, bam. Yep, that's right. Randy, he says, happy wife, happy life. That's exactly right. I got that there. Boom. Yes. Claw Phantom 310 update. Well, I got 2 310s. So the Silver Bullet that you guys saw flying back from California or California, that one we've been doing just an insane amount of work to over the last 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks now, since getting it back from California. As you guys saw, it needed some loving in a few areas. So we taken care of that. That's my new language. We taken care of that. And we're also adding some very shiny new buttons and things on the inside, some new flashy stuff on the outside, and doing what we can to kind of bring the best of that. It's not paint, it's a polished airplane, but it was very unpolished. So, hey, we're going to see what we can do with this thing, and it's going to shine, and it will be at Oshkosh 2022 here in just like 2 weeks. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, it's only 2 weeks from now. Oh man. David C. Allen. All right, David. The Aerostar. So this is a guy. Let me just back the choo-choo up for a minute. So Mr. Allen, he is a long-time subscriber, long-time, we've connected whenever I first started the channel about 1.5 years ago with the Cherokee 6, and we stayed connected. Save an Aerostar. Yep. Let's see. I don't know how to put that one up on the screen, but he just gave $5. So thank you, David, and Save an Aerostar. I'll give you an update on the Aerostar. The one that I looked at is the Superstar 700, and it is the fastest production piston twin airplane ever made. We're talking 270 knots, which is 300 miles an hour. It's flipping nuts. That particular aircraft has a checkered past. What of my airplanes don't really, except for the Lancer. That one was really clean and straightforward. The Aerostar, spoiler alert, I did not close the deal on that, and I'll tell you why. Is because of the past. It was neglected for like the last 30 years, and it went through a series of different owners over those 30 years, and they all never really got it up to snuff. And what I've learned is to take on a project that somebody has done so much work to without it frankly being fully documented and brought up at each stage is unbelievably difficult. And you pretty much just got to tear the airplane down and go all the way back through it to just double check everything, because at the end of the day, Dr. Phil, the IA, he's got to inspect everything that was done to that airplane since the last time it was in the logbooks in the annual. And we have to make sure that all of that is up to the current FAA requirements. And this particular airplane had been out of annual for 12 years, but there was a lot of work done to it in that time. And then before that, it had sat up there at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where the Aerostar kind of not factory now, but the guys that own the Aerostar brand and all that, it had been up there for like 6 or 7 years, and they were going to do a couple things to it. Well, the guy who owned it before them brought it to them, and he had neglected that thing for who knows how many years. So all that to say, I ended up not closing the deal on that Aerostar just because there was just too many unknowns with that airplane. Frankly, I would have rather have found an Aerostar that nobody had touched in 12 years rather than one that somebody had been in and messing with and tinkering with the whole time, because now we got to go back through it and basically just tear the whole thing back apart to confirm, double check, do all of our inspections with all the stuff that was or wasn't done. I am looking for an Aerostar though. So if you guys have a good deal on something and you know where it's at, shoot me the email, therealjimmysworld@gmail.com. I'm always looking for the next project. So there you go. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Kennedy's Light Show, $4.99. Thank you, sir. You should look into ear coops. Ear coops? Ear coops. It's the ones with no rudder pedals and little funky twin tails on the back. Love your content. Do you make it to the Panhandle often? Would love to meet up and help out one day. Well, Kennedy's Light Show, thank you for that. The Eurocoops, they're weird little airplanes. I've looked at them a little bit. That'd be kind of an interesting one to check out and find. Maybe. I would be open to that. Make it up to the Panhandle of Florida. Florida's like this or like this. I can't tell if it's mirrored. One of those. And that'd be the little spot up there. Not often, if I'm honest with you. Usually stick around here in the Central Florida, South Florida, or just go all the way to the left coast and buy an airplane and fly it back, which is really questionable. Damon West, great channel, $5. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Let's find some more questions here. Wow, Paul, really? Can you please make the effort and put some blue sky behind the windows on the Learjet interior? Yeah, you're not wrong. It kind of had a. Should I fill out an NTSB report on that? I mean, it was in the hangar when it happened, kind of. Long story short is I had a big box of Go Fast parts for Cameron, the Lancer 360, the world's fastest 4-cylinder 2-seater airplane. And it was just too many BTUs for that shelf to handle, and ripped it right down. So my bad. Gonna have to be fixing that. Bam. Donity, first of all, love all the stuff you do. Secondly, what flight simulator do you play? I've actually got it right here. Let's see if I can we do that? Yeah, boom, right there. Look at that. I use, let's see, it is, what's brain fart? It's not Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. I looked at it, kind of did it, but the airplanes, there's just not as many airplanes in real life. And I actually use that for like training to stay current and to do procedures and stuff like that for instrument training and things like that. So, honestly, I don't usually fly this just to have fun with it. I usually fly it for like the California trip was a great thing. I had never flown a 310 until I got out there to California. Crazy as that was. So I fired this bad boy up and I went and bought a 310 just to get familiar with the buttons, to practice my emergency procedures, things like that. So I use this really more for training than I do for, goofing around or anything like that. Although I did buy the T6 because not spoiler. I did tell you guys, I did buy the T6. It's going through and getting all fixed up right now. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to go up there and fly it, maybe even fly it all the way back to Florida. That'd be fantastic. But I did buy that just to practice some barrel rolls and loops and things like that. That was pretty fun. Mr. James Kennedy. Jimmy, what got you into flying? My military career. It was the drive. I just hated the drive. And I'm really glad that it worked out to where I got to be introduced to aviation on the general aviation side. And definitely, how awesome is this, that this is what I get to do for a living? I don't know how long this is going to last, for years, I hope. But while it lasts, I'm going to make the most of it. I would encourage anybody out there, go and at least go get a introductory flight. It is just a fantastic way. It changes your perspective on the world whenever you see it from the air like that. Just amazing. Zachary I'm going to butcher your name again. Idnes. Nailed it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your super sticker for $19.99. Tams, I really wish I could figure out how to put this on the screen. Can I get a ride? And Cameron, love you, bro. Well, Tams, Cameron, it has some height and weight restrictions because you put it on like a pair of pants. So you pretty much need to be under 6'1" and less than 2. I mean, I bet even the 200-pound guy would be pretty hard pressed to get into Cameron because you put it on like a pair of pants, and that's why it goes so fast. Maybe come to Florida. We'll see what we got. Oliver's Aviation. Hey, Jimmy, love your content as a student pilot from Holy Lord, Western Australia. What's your favorite plane and what's going on with the MiG? Hashtag save the 310. What's going on with the MiG? Yes, I bought it. Thought I made that clear on the end of the video, but you guys got to watch to the very end of the videos, people. Yes, I bought it, and then I've partnered / sold it to a guy that is, he's way more qualified than I am. He actually already owns a MiG. He's owned MiGs in the past. He's owned fighter planes in the past. So I sold it to him, kind of, and he is going to, get the parts, and we're going to do it together where we get the aileron fixed and the tip tanks because he's already got those. And then we're going to take them back up there, put all that stuff on there, do an inspection, and we're going to fly that sucker. Yeah! So can't wait for that. I'm beside myself. Scared to death and excited beside myself. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Oh, Leo asked the same question. Your jet, how's it going with the MiG-15? There you go, Leo. Hope I answered that. The T6. Boy, everybody's asking about those. Okay, I think it's about time to make another video on those things. Grady Evans, when are we going to pick up the T6 and the MiG? Very soon. Right now, everything is about Oshkosh and getting the 310 ready for Oshkosh, and that's at the end of July. If you're not going, you should. I'll be there. Love to meet you and say hi. And then after that, we're going to be making a trip back to Mississippi to go check on the 310, or the 310. See where my mind's at. The T6 and the MiG. Okay, 2 more questions. We got to get out of here. You guys have been awesome. Keith Bayer asks, how's that Florida weather today? Well, if I look up at my METAR chart that I have right there, you guys can't see it, but I can. I look at it every day. So thank you, Scott, for that thing. It looks pretty questionable up in Georgia, in the Carolinas, and here in Florida. As always, a lovely day. All right. Well, people, you fantastic people. Oh, wait. That's how you do it. I just figured that out. Look at that. Jethro Bodine. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Simon Parks. Bam. All the comments are coming in so fast. Boom. Rob Stanton. There you go. I'm getting the hang of this. I am looking at doing this as a regular show. We're going to start off with some news. We're going to give you some updates on things. And then I want to answer your questions. And not just answer your questions via chat. I would love if you guys would be able to call in live and answer some questions, kind of like a radio show, except it's radio, podcast, YouTube, face page show thing. Let me know if you guys think that would be an awesome idea, or if I'm totally just this stupid and dumb, and I'm fine with that too. Never know. This, after all, is Jimmy's World, where you never know. Even I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the day, and that's what makes it so exciting. It's like a good bologna sandwich. You never get tired of it because it never tastes the same twice. Hey, my name is Jimmy. This is Jimmy's World. This is Clear Prop. I am so thankful that you are citizens of this world, and I will see you on the flip side. Mustache out.